What's up, everybody? I'm James. Welcome to Mechanical Mayhem, and this is going to be a MechWarrior 5 Clans DLC 1 Trials of War Impressions video. I figure instead of just reading patch notes and showing some clips or imagery and whatnot, I thought I'd just take us into the game, starting with the title screen to see what's been improved, what kind of cleanup and improvements they've done, as well as look at some examples of the DLC stuff and just talk about my thoughts and impressions thus far on it. I will say I am liking it. I am impressed. I do like this type of stuff, and I hope we'll get some more story-driven DLC stuff in the future, but I do appreciate what they have given us in this first kind of quick DLC, in my opinion. So definitely share your thoughts in the comment section. Post whether or not you've purchased this DLC or if you played this game or whatever else. Any other thoughts you have along the way. While you're down there, if you want, you can hit that subscribe button. It's free and it helps me out. If you don't, that's cool. I'll still be here. No big deal. So, with that said, the title screen isn't too different. We have a link to the actual website for the game, MW5clans.com. If you click that, you will be taken to a website in a browser or in Steam's browser, since I'm on Steam. Trials of War button here, this little box, is going to take us to the DLC packages. I imagine that's also somewhat newsy, but the news, quote unquote, will probably be more so like DLCs when they come out down there. Digital collectors content and the invasion mech patterns are considered DLC. Those would be launch DLC, but from the get-go, Trials of War is the first post-launch DLC, and here we are. So we can also get to that from the menu in the title screen. The DLC button takes us to the same thing. So with that said, we're gonna switch campaigns. I do have a Trueborn going that I'll be doing on stream. You can check out the link to the stream in the video description section. I'll be doing a Trueborn run there, trying to finagle through it. So far, so good. Definitely more difficult than expert, and I will go over that later on in this video. So we're gonna select Smoke Jaguar 1. This is kind of like what I call my master file, if you will. It's got a completed campaign, and it has pretty much all the camo patterns I know how to unlocked, and so on. So we'll be here. Now, the first thing of note is that this is a completed campaign, so everything is retroactive. One of the things about Hero Mechs and this stuff is that they're retroactive. So since I already have everything unlocked, I'll just have access to it immediately. And we see that in the notifications, right? All this stuff is now accessible. So one of the changes they made, I believe, is they added the Senpai button down here. I don't recall seeing a Senpai button in the Mission Central tab. It's nice. It's not hard to find the Senpai in the barracks, but some players weren't necessarily sure how to gain access to stuff in the Senpais. It's just even easier to access it now. And considering that's for PvP and Horde mode live, it's nice to be able to get there even quicker. Other than that, no real change I'm aware of in here. So we will go to facilities. Now, Marketplace is the same, Science Lab, except for Research, is the same. So chassis upgrade and milestones are the same. Research we'll go to in a little bit. But I want to hang out in the mech bay for a moment because Hero Mechs. The very first Hero Mech we got was the Timberwolf, the Warrant one. And that set the stage. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll go over it here. But basically, these Hero Mechs are given to us when we unlock with our merit points a mech chassis at the appropriate honor level. So once you get to the appropriate honor level, you have the ability to unlock that chassis. When you do that, you get a prime variant of that chassis for yourself. So that's cool. If there is a hero quote-unquote variant of it, like the Cinder or the Widowmaker, you will also get a copy of or another chassis in that hero variant, utilizing the hero skin / camo pattern, if you want to call it that, as well as being in the hero's Omnipod set. They're not locked that way. You can easily change this into the prime configuration and put whatever camo pattern you want on it. But the point is, when you do unlock a mech that has a hero variant, you'll get a second mech in that hero variant, which is really cool. You get 2 for the price of 1. Have no fear if you're halfway through the campaign and you unlocked, the Mad Dog or whatever already. That's okay. This hero variant will be in your mech bay, in your stored mechs area the next time you load up the game. So once you get the DLC installed, you'll have the hero mech waiting for you. So it is retroactive, which is nice. You don't lose out. And it's a free mech, basically. So that's pretty cool. This is why also when you do a new campaign and you get to Santander, you'll have the hero Kit Fox and the hero Mistlinks sitting for you in your stored mech area because, well, this is the first time you get access to those mechs, so there are your hero variants. So that's pretty nice. One last thing, camo pattern wise, the hero makes a lot more sense now, the way it's set up, right? I did a camo pattern video, and I said the hero didn't make sense because Fractal and Hot Rod and all that, you get a sense of what the mech's going to look like when you apply it. But with hero, you don't. And I wasn't thinking in terms of special custom skins at the time, but it makes total sense now. So, yeah, that's why you don't get those. Because you don't get a little preview on hero because it's just the button you click for any mech that has a hero mech to give you its custom skin. They are customizable, so if you want to change up the coloration, you totally can to make it even more your style. And they're only applicable to that chassis, so I can't put this Revenant look at anything else. So with that out of the way, going up to the Direwolf, I'm not going to go over, like I said, the loadouts, but we will see here Omnipod set P is the new Omnipod set that the Direwolf gets. There's 2 per weight class, so we get 8 free Omnipod sets. These are locked. You need to unlock it with Mech Experience, but you'll gain access to the ability to unlock this right away as long as you have the Mech Experience to do so. So that's pretty cool. There's 2 per weight class. One of the assaults is the Direwolf, so that's why we have this Omnipod set P. Not necessarily a canon Omnipod set, but you could say inspired by a true story, if that makes any sense. So, with that said, those are the mechs. We'll again go into more detail, the loadout and the of each hero mech, as well as, you know, the special Omnipod variant for them as well, that if they got one in a future video. It'll be a massive video where we're basically in the mech bay the whole time. It'll be a lot of fun because we can just check it out and chit chat and whatever. So with that said, Science Lab, research. You'll notice we have tabs now. So originally, and you'll still see, I have some videos pre-recorded of missions for the playthrough, pre-DLC launch and patch, so we won't have this. You'll know when we get into DLC territory for, in terms of missions recorded, because you'll see this in the research. But in any case, it lists absolutely everything here in this section, but then we have energy, missile, ballistic, and then equipment. This is where your punches will be for your melee. This is where jump jets and heat management and sensors and stuff live. I like this because it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to sort through and look at this stuff when you don't have the whole thing laid out bare before you. Sometimes you can, when you're scrolling, you can pass things and miss it. So it's nice that they added this. These symbols should look familiar because they're from MW5 Mercenaries. It's just, why not? It's a symbol that works, so, or they're close enough to them, I'll put it to you that way. So nothing else has changed, just a nice little neat configuration of this stuff right here. Much appreciated. And lastly, in the barracks, we'll go to the Simpod, the traditional route. If you're here for the first time, you will get this screen. Even if you have the save file like I have, or a save file where you've been in the Simpod before. If you haven't been in the Simpod since the DLC update, you'll get this little notification thing here, a little help box. And then we see it's changed, the layout. So the ones that need DLC say Trials of War on them. So if you don't have Trials of War, I think these will show up, but they'll be locked. You will have to purchase a DLC. I don't know why people are so hung up on this. That's not, you know, they're introducing it on DLC, and the DLC is, I think, pretty affordable, especially on Steam. Up until the beginning of December, you can get it at a discount. But anyways, we have our typical campaign stuff, where we can do the advanced mission parameters and whatever else on the prior campaign missions that you've already played. So that's still here. And we still have access to our beloved shooting range and the combat arena if you want it. But then you have the arena for PvP, I have all the maps unlocked because this is a completed campaign file. Otherwise, you would have Smoke Jaguar, Trial Arena unlocked, and that's pretty much it. So you'll gain access to more as you go through the campaign. Which again, same thing with Horde mode. You'll start off with light, and then at some point in the campaign, you'll unlock medium, heavy, and assault. Again, not a big deal. I think it's a very easy kind of thing to unlock everything here. Just play the campaign, which will get you acclimated to the game and whatever else. But anyways, that's the last of the kind of the changes, if you will, is in the sim pod with Horde and campaign and training. So if you click that, you would then go in. You would obviously cannot select this, but you would have the appropriate star set up, and then you would just go in, and we'd be on the beach, and we would be fighting in Horde mode. So initial impressions of all this stuff is I like the cleanup that they did in SimPod, in research. It's minor stuff, but it goes a long way. I like the addition of the SimPod to your Mission Central, so you can access it right here. Since I clicked simulation mode, I can launch, but obviously I can't launch. I don't meet the criteria, but we can access SimPod right here, so that's really cool. And then as far as everything else goes in regards to, for example, Trueborn difficulty, it's definitely the hardest difficulty in the game. In the very first mission, your tutorial mission, my mech was critically damaged, missing an arm. Half of my star was also pretty critically damaged, and one of them had to eject. I've never had anybody eject in a tutorial mission before. Expert, story, normal, never had it happen. So it's living up to its namesake. The enemy AI seems a lot smarter in their shot placement. If your arm is weak, they'll focus it, and they'll try to blow off your arms and take off some components and not just try and kill you outright, or they'll try to leg you. So they're definitely being much more of a nuisance, much more tactical, which I think, is a good thing, because boring AI to fight sometimes is just never always good, right? And especially if they're just boring AI doing the same stuff but just hitting you like much harder, or insta shot, perfect aim is never a good way to do it. So the fact that they're being much more tactical and trying to fight you much more like a person would, although they're definitely not playing like people would, but they're getting there, you could say. I think overall a vast improvement. If you're looking for difficulty, Trueborn is definitely a way to do it. I stream on Twitch my Trueborn campaign, and I'll be using that as a way to do some guide videos to help out as well for the campaign, because if it works on Trueborn, it's definitely going to work everywhere else. Anyways, overall, I'm liking the DLC. I know it's not anything crazy. I would love more story. As I said, this game tastes like more as a terminology. But as far as what we're getting, I wasn't expecting a DLC, to be honest with you, at all. So the fact that we got 12 Hero Mechs, 8 Omnipod sets, Horde mode, which came out of nowhere, PvP, which I really wasn't expecting because we had MechWarrior Online, which granted feels very different, and is very different, is a nice, welcome kind of out of left field type of DLC for me anyway. Anyways, I'll stop rambling on about it. What are your thoughts on the DLC? Share it in the comment section down below. I'm looking forward to tooling around with these Hero Mechs and getting into Horde mode, hopefully with people eventually, and just having a good time, enjoying my favorite sci-fi setting, pretty much bar none, especially when it comes to mecha stuff. So post your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for taking the time to stick around and check this video out. If you made it to the very end, comment trials alongside anything else you want to say, so I know you made it to the very end of the video. Hit that subscribe if you would like to, do all the algorithm, like the video, yada yada yada. You know what to do. You're smart people. You've heard this before on the YouTube. So if you want to do that, fantastic, and appreciate it. If not, that's cool too. I'll still be here. Hopefully you'll change your mind in the future. And until next time, take care.